Hi everyone, it's Nick. Welcome and welcome back to my channel. Okay, in this video today, we are going to be talking about the celebrity home tour, the AD home tour and its problems. Okay, because I love to hate on things here on the internet. You guys know, I love to do that. It's just fun for me and you guys like watching it. And somehow I seem to have turned it into a career. So let's just have a good little chat about the AD house tour and the problem that it comes with, because it's fun to watch this stuff, but honestly, it's just like candy. It's not that good for you and it is not going to help you design a beautiful home. So let's talk about that, because you should not be using these probably for your inspiration for your own home, and I'm going to explain why. So let's get to it. Okay, but before I get to that AD criticism, I, like AD, also need to pay the bills, and that is why I want to thank today's sponsor, which is NordVPN. So your internet service provider, also called your ISP, advertisers and hackers can see your IP address, which is basically your digital home address. But the way NordVPN works is just with one click, they're able to sort of use, I'm going to use a design analogy and say it's like blackout curtains, where it blocks all those different bad guys from able to actually spot all your internet history. It does that by encrypting your traffic and hiding your IP address, so no one can track where you are or what you're looking at. And plus, with their threat protection, they are also being able to block pop-up ads or different trackers or malicious sites before they can even load. And this is a big one and a super popular feature with NordVPN, which is that you can switch where you're from, so you're able to access content that's only available in different countries. So I go to Amsterdam quite frequently, and when I'm in the Netherlands, I can still switch back and watch Canadian Netflix. You can also use and secure 10 different devices, so you can put your iPad on your TV and all the rest of it, your computer, can all be used under one account, which is really great, so everybody's protected. So stop letting the internet treat your data like an open house. Visit nordvpn.com/nicklewis and use code nicklewis to receive a significant discount on your plan, plus 4 extra months for free. Plus, it's completely risk-free with a 30-day money-back guarantee. So click on the link in the description, and thank you NordVPN for sponsoring this video. Now let's get back to those AD house tours and the problems with them. Okay, first off my list is gonna be, this isn't the designer's best work, okay? So I know some interior designers and architects and things that have been featured in AD, and here's the thing, most of them will tell you it's not their best work. This isn't the stuff they actually really love. This is just the celebrity industrial complex, okay? This is the Condé Nast, Vogue, Bon Appetit, AD, Anna Wintour, like Hollywood, like this is just that whole circle happening over and over and over again. Like this is nothing to do with great design, really. This has everything to do with feeding celebrity, which is why people get their AD house tour conveniently right around when they have something to promote, because that's what this really is about, right? Most people, most designers that are featured here, well, even if it's just a featured article and not a full-on house tour, will say, this isn't the stuff I really love to do. This isn't even my best stuff. I just happen to have a celebrity client. And I think that's what a lot of people don't understand. Most of the stuff that's featured in AD, I mean, the home tour is obviously celebrities, but even just the regular features, AD really loves to play the game like the rest of us are playing here on the internet, which is clicks, and celebrities get clicks. And so that is, I think, my first beef with the home tour, is that it really doesn't showcase great design anymore. I think it might have once upon a time, but now it just fuels the Hollywood machine, and I don't think it really features great work. And that's kind of really my first beef with it. The other thing really interesting I think that's happening, just a little aside, is that I've heard through the rumor mill that in order to actually get like a full home tour, AD demands sort of exclusivity with people, this being the place that features, like the first place where your home is going to be featured. So I'm moving in a couple weeks. I'm going to be building my own home in this same area in Vancouver, and I can tell you with 100% certainty, not like they're not like they're knocking on my door, they are not, but there is no way I would ever get a foot in, I think, on an article in AD, simply because there's no way I'm going to give exclusivity to AD. And it's really fascinating because a lot of these young YouTubers and TikTokers and things that are like 21 and have mega mansions in LA, they don't want to be featured in AD anymore because it's like stale and boring to them. They would rather showcase their work on their own social platforms. So there's a really interesting change happening where I think a lot of legacy media is just like really clinging on with their fingernails here, trying to make sure that they're pumping up these celebrities and their completely ridiculous homes. So that's my first beef. It's just about celebrity. It's not about design. Okay, now my second beef that you need to understand when looking at celebrity home tours is that they lie. Okay, so I don't think this should really shock you, but you'd be surprised. It doesn't make any sense. They are lying throughout the entire tour, okay? This is what this is about. It's just lies. A really good example of this, of course, is a very infamous moment where Dakota Limes, no, she might as well be, Dakota Johnson came in when she did her 80 house tour, and there was a big bowl of limes, and she said, I love limes. And she later revealed in an interview that she's actually allergic to limes. She doesn't like limes. It's just prop styling. It's just a lie.
I love limes. I love them.
I was giving the tour and went into the kitchen, and it was set dressing. I'm allergic to limes.
None of this makes any sense. It's all about the styling. This isn't actually how these people sort of live. This is just a lie that is being put out into the internet to make people believe that this is the way that people actually live. And they don't. And it's designed there so that people will actually buy things and consume, which is really what this is all about. You can also tell this in the way that these places are styled. Like, I understand there's a certain degree of fiction that's involved in every like real estate photo, for example, to sell real estate. But when a home like this, where you're kind of expecting a little bit of like a peek behind the curtain at celebrity life, where are all the toothbrushes? Where's the soap? Where's the paper? Where's the toilet paper? Like, where's all the stuff that people actually have? Where's the paper towel in the kitchen, right? Where's the soap pumps? None of that stuff is going to be featured because they obviously remove it all to be able to style it. And again, that should feel obvious, but I do think it matters, because when a lot of people look at these home tours, they think, why does my place not look as good as these celebrities? And it's like, of course not. These are beautifully designed, yes, but they're also beautifully styled and photographed. And so that makes a massive difference when you're looking at home, at your home, is those little tiny details that are absolutely being dealt with. But celebrities, we all know, are brushing their teeth just like the rest of us, and they should be using soap just like the rest of us, but all that stuff is conveniently hidden in these photos because, again, it's just about perpetuating a lie. Okay, the second reason that I think these homes are problems, and therefore probably shouldn't be used as good examples and inspiration for your own home, is the scale of everything. And I'm specifically talking about the McMansion Scale. Most of these homes, sometimes they feature cute little kind of spaces, but they're usually in really expensive cities like New York because, well, no one owns a mansion most likely in New York. Even celebrities have to admit that they're probably going to own a smaller place than you know, some giant mansion in the middle of Manhattan. So the scale, though, for the rest of the homes outside of New York are largely large. They're absolute mansions, right? We're talking about Tan Francis' home, which is in Utah. We're talking about any of the homes that are in Los Angeles. The scale of these homes is gigantic, and a lot happens and shifts when a home has that much space to work with. And your home most likely is not going to be nearly as big as these celebrities. And so a lot of the things that they're doing in the home just don't make sense or apply to you. So Aaron Paul, the star of Breaking Bad, of course, in order to support this massive fireplace that he has in his living room, is going to require a room that is absolutely massive, a home that does not make sense for most people. So who is this really serving? Is this design porn? Is this just pumping up Aaron Paul so that he can have a great, wonderful career and maintain his celebrity status? Or is this in any way, shape, or form inspiring for someone like you who is sitting there flipping through the pages or watching these things on YouTube and thinking, can I actually have anything near what Aaron Paul is doing in his own home? It isn't. It's not going to happen. This does not make sense for most people. It's a fun watch, I grant you, but nothing more than that. So whether you're looking at Vanessa Hudgens or Kendall Jenner or I don't know the Kardashians' names. I have no clue who they all are. But anyway, all those people, the Kardashians, all of them, they all have features. So honestly, it could be any of them. So any of those people, they all have their homes. When you're looking at their sofas, when you're looking at the designer pieces they have, when you're looking at their countertops or their multiple kitchen islands that they have, you're looking at the size and the scale of the pieces that they have in their home. Whether you want to, you're like, oh, that looks really cute, I should look up that for myself. Most likely, it's not going to make sense for your own home simply because the scale is off. Okay, the next reason I don't think these homes make sense, this one's important, is going to be the practicality of it. Now, I talk about practicality a lot on my YouTube channel because I think it's really important for people's actual day-to-day, because homes need to be lived in. They need to actually be lived in. Again, the toothbrush, we're gonna use that, right? The soap pump, right? The kitchen utensils, they might not always be pretty, but they do need to be there because we use them, because your home is a place that you actually use and live in. A lot of these celebrity homes, clearly practicality is thrown out the window, and there's some really good reasons for that, right? Budget. If you put in a material that isn't going to have a lot of longevity, it's not gonna last, it's gonna be worn out and gross pretty soon, like for example, David Harbour and Lily Allen, who, I don't know if they still live there anymore because I think they split up, but again, I don't know. But they put carpet in their bathroom. That for a lot of reasons is impractical. It's a poor choice of material, not just a like, oh, there's a, you know, like you can do what you want in terms of figuring out, you know, what makes sense for you and design, make it your own, do what you want, like whatever. No, actually, this is just bad. Carpet is bad in a bathroom. It's objectively bad, okay? It is not the right material choice to use for that room. It does not make sense for the space. Smells get in there, you know, moisture gets in there. It is a lot of reasons why it's disgusting. But if you're Lily Allen and David Harbour and you got some of the biggest show on television, then guess what? It doesn't matter, because once it gets stinky after a couple of years, you can just rip it out and put in something else, right? It's an impractical material. It's a poor choice of material for that space. The problem is people like you watch it and go, oh, that looks kind of cute. I mean, it doesn't, but still, that's, again, personal opinion. It's impractical for you because you're not renovating your bathroom every 2 years. The same is true for cleaning, right? When you look at Gwyneth Paltrow's home and you see her spa-like bathroom, is it even a bathroom at this point? I don't even know. It's a room, it's a limestone room with a tub in the middle. I suppose it's a spa, I suppose it's a bathroom, whatever Gwyneth tells herself. But you know, whatever. She's got that space and that's great for her. Do you honestly think that she's scrubbing the grout on that? Do you think she's in there scrubbing the limestone? I highly doubt Gwyneth Paltrow has scrubbed a stone in that place ever. Not once. I would be surprised if she wipes it down herself, to be honest. Like, Gwyneth ain't doing that work, okay? Someone else is doing that work. So it's an impractical material, it's hard to clean, it's a poor choice. Now, I personally believe that you need to just go in clear-eyed and think, is this choice the right choice from a cleanliness perspective? Sometimes the answer is no, but it's still cute and you're gonna do it anyway. And that's fine, so long as you know that you're making that decision. You know, that's fine. Like, if you say, you know, this is like this lighting fixture might not be the easiest to clean, but I really love it, then go put it in anyway and just know what you're walking into. But when you take a look at Gwyneth Paltrow's spa-like bathroom thing, and then you look at it, it's like, okay, that is actually really horrible to clean, and I highly recommend that you do not do anything similar to what Gwyneth Paltrow is doing. But Gwyneth herself isn't even doing it. So yes, people, if you're a big fancy celebrity and you have designers knocking on your door all the time and you're able to turn all this stuff over every couple of years because you've got gobs of money, then renovate whenever you want. Don't worry about cleaning because somebody else is going to do it anyway. And you know, material choices and whatever, you can honestly just choose everything because it looks pretty, in which case fantastic for them. But for you, you don't get that luxury most likely, okay? So I'm talking most of you, okay? Some of you feel free, but like for most of you, you're probably going to want to have to think these things through, and celebrity house tours is not the place to get your inspiration for that. Okay, and then my next beef with them is going to be like curated versus meaningful. I see this a lot on the celebrity house tours, is that they lack any meaning. Maybe it's just Hollywood, I don't know. Like, is it just about no substance, but it just, the looks and the aesthetics matter? I don't know if this is how they live in their own life. Please see earlier points about like practicality of actually living in these spaces. But you know, sometimes these, at least these tours themselves, whether again, they might change things as soon as the cameras are off, but most of these spaces feel really generic, right? There doesn't feel like a whole lot of personality put into these homes. Rarely do I see a lot of family photos. Now that might be because their PR people and their agents and their managers and whatever tell them not to do it, I don't know. But regardless, when you're watching it, you're not seeing that, right? You're not seeing that. You're seeing these places that are quite devoid of any sort of personality, right? It's just there for the aesthetics. They lack any sort of meaning. And I think for most people, that is gonna be a mistake because the you isn't in your actual own home. You're not seeing anything personal. You're not seeing anything from people's previous experiences. You're seeing Dakota Johnson and her stupid lines that she definitely does not use because she's allergic. And you're seeing most of that stuff being used in the home, and it lacks any sort of personal characteristics, and instead it's just there for the aesthetics and the show. And that doesn't make sense for most people. You're gonna be left with a home that you're gonna look around and go, it's pretty, but it's not me. And it's not what I want to do, and it's not what I love. And so you're a stranger in your own home, and that's a very uncomfortable thing. I highly encourage you to bring meaningful objects from travels and places you've been, that things that people have bought you, personal photos of people that you love, or I mean, I don't do that because I don't like putting family members in my own home, not my thing. But you know, you do you, and you find those things, and you might like your family more than I do, and that's fine. But like, put those things in your home. But these celebrities celebrities, I guarantee you do not. Looking over and over at their spaces, it doesn't make sense. When Ashley Tisdale sends her husband to go to a bookstore to buy 400 books to fill their new bookshelves with absolutely no plan or care for what those books are, because they are never intended to be read, that tells you that they've completely lost the plot. Okay, and then next up, I'm gonna call this the lighting lie, okay? This is just the idea that, and this, oh gosh, we're media literate enough now in 2026 to be able to know that this is the case. But honestly, with the state of media in the world right now, I don't know if that's actually true. And that is that, believe it or not, these photos are extremely edited, okay? The whites are whiter, okay? So they can easily have professional grade tools. At Condé Nast has like a team. They got a whole tower in Manhattan devoted to people that just do this on a full-time basis, okay? These are people that full-time edit these photos and videos to make sure that they're flawless, okay? They're putting color grading on all of their videos. I do too. I mean, I don't look like this in person. Like, this is color graded. Like, I'm not, no, it's not real, okay? It's television, the magic of television, people. There's color grading on the video. There's photos are edited to make the colors brighter or whatever color they want them to be honest. Dust particles are absolutely removed. Everything is absolutely pristine and perfect, and the lighting is flawless, okay? So everything is perfect in the home and made to be that way because it's media, okay? It's perfected. In the same way that Vogue, surprise, surprise, photoshops out people's wrinkles and people's cellulite. I don't know if that should shock you here in 2026, but your newsflash, it's all faked. And that's really the thing here. It's all a big lie. And so when you copy everything that's happening in other people's homes in their 80 house tour, and then turn around and go, why are the whites not as white as they are in Kim Kardashian's home? Why is that? And it's like, because your home isn't photoshopped, okay? It's not real. It's not real life, and it doesn't make sense for you. I mean, then there's also just the fact that Kim Kardashian says that she has a light in her bathroom that like basically removes all of the cellulite so you can't see it because this light is like so amazing, right?
The lighting in the bathroom is so good that it like smooths out all cellulite.
Okay, if you have a light that is in your bathroom that is able to be like a beauty filter on people to make them look so good because the lighting is so good, that probably their lighting plan costs, like in this bathroom alone costs as much as a luxury car, then I don't think you're probably gonna be putting that in your own home. So, you know, all of this stuff is faked. It doesn't actually really practically make sense for most people. And again, it bothers me because people are actually making real world choices in their homes that are expensive and time consuming, and they're not happy where they live as a result. Okay, so that's it for me today, guys. I hope you really enjoyed this video. I did another video a couple of years back where I talked some specifics about, you know, some shadiness of some specific 80 house tours that you might find interesting. Tan France catches some strays, as do, but you know what? The queer eyes deserve it. I'm still Team Bobby, I'm not gonna lie. So if you want that, you can click here and check out that video, and I will see you all in the next one. Thanks a lot.